Hello, my name is Jason McLaren, and this is Leadership Loading, the podcast that has inspired others to dream more, do more, and become more. Give your career a boost by learning how to be better at what you do, motivate your team to reach new limits, and constantly outdo themselves because they believe in you and your actions. Translate your vision into reality today by following what great minds and leadership gurus have to offer. Hello, welcome to the show. If this is your first time here and you are here looking for a way to motivate your team and reach new limits and just become a better leader, and if you're wanting to upload, reload, or reboot your leadership or entrepreneurial skills, you're in the right spot. Before we get started, you can always leave us a voicemail at 214-856-0498. That's 214-856-0498. We'll use that feedback for topics or clips on future episodes. Hello, and today our guest is Chris Anderson. He's going to talk to us a little bit about his podcast called Pencil Leadership and tell us what it's all about and some of the speaking engagements he does. Now, let's get the download from Chris Anderson. Hey everyone, it's Jason McLaren with Leadership Loading Podcast. My guest today is Chris Anderson. He's going to talk to us a little bit today about successful leadership and his organization, Pencil Leadership, and a little bit about what they do. So Chris, please introduce yourself to the listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason, thank you so much for having me on the show. First off, I'm just really humbled to be here and be able to talk about myself a little bit and Pencil Leadership. And basically the whole thing with Pencil Leadership started was I'm in the health field as well. And I feel like my reach isn't big enough. I'm not able to help enough people the way I want to. And so I wanted to just impact people's lives. And with my backstory, dealing with like depression and suicidal thoughts and things of that nature, getting through that and wanting to impact the lives of others, showing them that they have self-worth and a purpose in life. And so my goal is to impact 1 million lives through this Pencil Leadership endeavor and be able to really help make a difference in the world and just motivate and encourage others peoples in their lives.
Awesome. And how are you measuring the 1 million mark?
One is through the podcast, so the subscribers, people listening, so they're going to get the information, the encouragement through the podcast, which is Pencil Leadership with Chris Anderson, and also through the courses that I'm in the process of creating. And so people that get to interact with those, that's how I'm going to track it. But right now, definitely is podcast subscribers, getting people listening and just getting good messages out to people.
Definitely. And with that, what are some of the habits of highly successful leaders that you've learned?
Yeah, absolutely. And just being able to study different individuals, reading books like Think and Grow Rich, and listen to people, other podcasts, other TED Talks, things of that nature. There are so many different things that you can focus on to be highly successful, but the ones that I really kind of target, especially at like the foundation, and number one being that health is wealth. I'm sure people have heard that over and over, but especially from my perspective in the health field, that is so important, and everything stems from our health. So if we're not taking care of ourselves physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, everything else is going to just go downhill and not be at the quality level, and they're not going to be able to do as much good with that. So they got to take care of their health. So many times we put other people first, we put other endeavors first, thinking that we're doing the right thing. And the heart might be right. We might be truly doing that to help others. But if we're not having that time to take care of our health, our cup is empty. We're not going to be able to give out from that. So that's the first one.
I know talking with you in the past and corresponding on this, you talked about knowing when to say no and yes. And I know that was a struggle I had when I first left the military was, everything was yes, because you took an order and you were going to do it. And
Right.
I kind of let people run over me when I got out of the military. And, a lot of these people would just give me tasks and I would do them even though it wasn't in my job. So can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that would be probably my second most important thing, or on the list of my top four. Knowing when it's appropriate to say no and when you should say yes. So many times, and myself, just like you, Jason, would say yes to everything. Just wanted to please everyone, just wanted everyone to be happy. Didn't want anybody to think negatively or poor of me because I would say no. And that's just such a kind of like a slave mentality. We just want to do and say yes to everything. And it just goes back to, okay, how much time do we have in a day? We all have 24 hours and that's it. And so we have to utilize that time in a way that's going to benefit our health and then be able to truly serve others as going forward. And if we're saying yes to everything, we're going to be stretched so thin, we are not going to be able to truly give 100% to what we're working at. We're either going to be worried about what's coming next or our time when we have to get out of there to go to the next thing, or we're going to lack time. And so we're not going to get everything done to the quality that it should be. So really being strategic about what we say yes to, what we say no to, and understanding that when we say no, that might rub people the wrong way, but at the end of the day, it's what is best for us and what's best for the people we're serving. So if it's going to negatively affect our ability to serve others, then we really need to take a step back and say, okay, is that worth my time and the time of the people that I'm serving? Because if not, then it's just almost wasting everyone's time.
Definitely. And when you're in a leadership role, you've got to look at that excellence factor, and sometimes it's quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
And there's been times I've missed deadlines because I want it to be perfect.
Yeah.
And then there are things you probably agree that you don't have to have perfect. If you're doing your social media or something, that copy doesn't have to be perfect. But but when you're working on a project, especially for a client or a something in the health field, like we talked about earlier, it's got to be perfect because there's no do-overs. You got to be highly reliable. So
right, and it's so many people. They're like, oh, but I don't know what to give up. And there's so many people out there that can look at their lives, mine including. This is what I started with: was how much TV are you watching? How much Netflix? How many movies are you watching? How much time? And you can track this on your phone. How much time are you spending on your phone? Not using it to make money, not using it to serve others. You're just wasting time. And those are such big ones. And now I find myself telling my wife, especially, we'll be thinking about watching a movie. I'm like, man, do I have the time to watch this movie? Do I have more important or more quality items that I could be doing? Now, granted, there's times for sitting down, relaxing, watching a TV show or watching a movie. But if that's the majority of our day, or if that's a high percentage of our day, then we might need to rethink that and rethink the quality of our actions during the day. Definitely.
All right. Tell me about, you talked a little bit about this just a minute ago, but the servant heart, and I'm a big proponent for servant leadership, and I think those kind of tie together depending on what your role is in the organization. So can you elaborate on that some more?
Absolutely. And I think, so I went to the Global Leadership Summit, and Patrick Lencioni, he was speaking, and I thought this really stuck out to me. He was speaking about leadership and servant leadership, but he said that he's tired of hearing about servant leadership because that's the only kind of leadership there should be. There shouldn't be any other kind. If you're not leading others to serve them, if you're not going out trying to better the people that you're influencing's lives, then what's the purpose? That's all just for you, and that's not going to fulfill anything. That's not going to have good foundational structure. So the servant leadership, that should be, unfortunately it's not, but that's what it should be consistently through everyone. But we all know that's not the case with everyone. But yeah, just serving others. I mean, there's so much negativity. There's so much like just hate and just crap out there in the world that people have to go through. And I see it so much now in the younger generations that they have the social media that just instantly can give them the negativity towards their lives, or they judge others or themselves based on what they see from other people. They see the perfect facade from other people on social media, and that just brings them down in their own perspective. And we really need to just remember that we're here to serve others, especially through social media, through our lives when we interact with people, and take a step back and not think about ourselves first, and think about how we can help others, whether that be the quality of the content we're putting out, the message we're putting out, or again, going back to what we're saying no and yes to. So for example, if my wife and I plan to do a date night, but something with business comes up, if I say yes to that business opportunity, I'm saying no to my wife. Or if I don't have kids right now, but in the future, if we're blessed to have kids and they have an event to go to, and a meeting comes up with someone or an opportunity, and I say yes to that opportunity, I'm saying no to my kids. So finding that balance, obviously there are going to be emergencies where you're going to have to take those business opportunities or whatnot, but those should be few and far between. And so, yeah, just serving others, making sure our mindset's right on wanting to help people and really impact and make a mark in their lives and in the world the best we can.
Yeah, I like how you talk about basically balancing work life and I try to do that. I work during the week and obviously
Yep.
and then Saturday usually, but Sunday I take that's my unplugged day basically, and I really try not to open the laptop and if I'm on my phone, it's usually I'll scan my personal social media real quick, and
for sure.
And once my daughter wakes up, I put the phone on the counter and plug it in, and try not to mess with it throughout the day, and give her the full time. So I think that kind of shows the effectiveness of a good leader, not only in the workplace but in your personal life.
Absolutely. And we only have so much, we only have so much time, and we don't know how much time we're truly given. And so we got to make the most of every opportunity with individuals. It's community based, it's people based. That's what we have to be. And just like with your kids, especially like making memories, like they're going to grow up quick, and then you're going to either not have those memories, or you're going to have great times together that you're going to remember and be able to look back on. And so that's what's most important, is the community, is building those relationships with people and just serving and just growing as one and making those lasting memories.
Yep. All right, let's move on to pencil leadership. So I guess my first question is, how did you get the name?
Yeah, and I thought for a while I wanted something that kind of was different, that made people question, like, what is that? What does that mean? And so I was reading one day and came up on this parable. And again, I'm not sure the author. I did not create this parable, but it's about a pencil maker who obviously creates pencils. And one day he was putting his new creation in a box, getting ready to send it off to its new owner. And before he did, he wanted to give this pencil 5 pieces of knowledge as he went out. And this is what Pencil Leadership podcast and my business is based on. So the first one was, pencil maker told the pencil that you have a purpose, but the only way you can get and be used for that purpose is to be held by someone else. You're not going to be able to do what you need to do without the help of someone else. So it reminds us as leaders, as individuals, to humble ourselves, ask for help, learn from others to be able to grow and get to the area that we need to leave our mark. The second one is that the pencil maker told the pencil was, you're going to get sharpened. And without these sharpenings, you're not going to be able to work correctly. You're not going to be able to leave a mark. Now, these sharpenings, they're not going to be comfortable. These sharpenings are going to hurt, and they're going to take part of you away. You're going to lose some of your physical being. But the end result is you're going to be sharp. You're going to be efficient. And so in real life, we can take that and understand that we're going to go through pains. We're going to have trials and rough patches in life. These can be building blocks, can be learning moments for us. Maybe not right in the moment, because we have to get through those to be able to look back and see how we grew, but trying to keep a positive mindset as best we can to grow and learn, and then help take those rough patches, those hard times, and propel us to the next level. It'll make us stronger. It'll make us better. The third, the pencil maker told the pencil, was you have an eraser, and this has a purpose. Now, you're going to make mistakes. You're not perfect. And no matter what the mistake is, you can always work to erase those, to get rid of those. Now, there might be some indentions left in the surface you're writing on to remind you so you don't make those mistakes again. But the main part of the mistake you can erase. And so as individuals, we have to remember we're not perfect. We make mistakes. I make mistakes every day. And that'll be how it is until the end, unfortunately. But always trying to do our best not to make mistakes, learning from what we do wrong, being able to own those mistakes and try to fix whatever mistakes we do happen to do, and just grow from them as well. The fourth trait the pencil maker told the pencil was that you're new, you're nice, your external image is perfect right now. But as you get used, as you go through life, as things happen, you're going to get chipped and nicked and dinged, and that's going to show. You're going to have scars. But remember, the inside, the lead, is what's most important. And that's what's going to leave your mark, no matter what the outside looks like. And for us, no matter what we've been through, no matter what scars we have, what stories we have, it's what's inside that is most important. Our character, what we truly value, those non-negotiables that come out in our lives, no matter what kind of facade you put on, that's what's going to ooze out. So having a good character inside is going to leave the best mark, and that's what's going to show. And the fifth, and the overall theme, the pencil maker told the pencil, is you have a purpose, and that purpose is to leave a good mark on whatever surface, wherever you're at. So that doesn't matter, it's hard or soft, you can leave a mark. And so individuals, we need to remember, no matter where we're at, we have the possibility and the purpose to leave a positive mark. So doesn't matter if you're CEO, doesn't matter if you're a janitor, doesn't matter if you're a taxi driver, teacher, whatever your profession, whatever you do, stay-at-home mom or dad, you can leave a positive mark. You don't have to be a high level. You have a circle of influence, and you have the possibility to change the lives of the people around you for a positive way. And that's kind of the whole theme of pencil leadership.
Those are all good points. I'll make sure I put those bullets in the show notes for everybody.
Awesome.
So
Cool.
Check it out. So when you're doing with pencil leadership, is that workshops that you do?
Right now it's just straight podcasts. I'm trying to build some courses and get some like webinar type stuff built. And I also am hoping to be able to partner with some different groups and organizations to speak maybe at some of their events to just get out that positive message and help influence people that way as well.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And so the concept is that, everything starts with one step. I think that's kind of a lot of people use that analogy. So with that, a lot of our listeners are veterans transitioning from military to civilian. I think we're going to see an influx of that with the way the world's going right now. A lot of these military guys are going to, start moving into the civilian world. So, for the listeners, what do you think the first step should be for them?
Yeah, and I'm not a military vet, and so obviously you guys take this with a grain of salt because and thank you all for your service and what you guys have done for our country, guys and gals. But the big thing is going to be a big change. Obviously, you guys are coming back, and I say guys meaning both sexes if people are wondering. It's just my Midwesternness, but everything that the military veterans have been through, just coming back and realizing that it's going to be a big shift in mindset, environment, and not a lot of people are going to be like those you serve with. They're not going to have the work ethic and the loyalty. So realizing that, and then understanding that we all have fears, and we have to kind of bring those to the surface, whether those be from past experiences, whether that might be what's coming, the fear of the unknown or the fear of what to do. Making those known to yourself, not trying to hide them, because that's not going to do any good, but bring those to the surface, talking about those, speaking those out, and then going backwards. Okay, what do I need to do to overcome that fear, get rid of that fear? Whether it be, if it is counseling for a past trauma, whether it be self-affirmations, positive self-affirmations, whether it be meditation, whether it be just going out there and trying, putting that resume in, calling that business, just making those fears known, and then overcoming those step by step. So once you realize it, and once it's real, either written down, like you can see that, and then you can start attacking that and say, no, you're not going to have strength or power over my future and over my decisions. And so you can start to eliminate those strategically and just have a plan around those fears to get through them.
Yeah, I think a lot of veterans can take that to heart, and especially the writing down part, writing down goals. I didn't really start doing that until I got out of the military, writing down goals, setting deadlines, that sort of thing. Because when you're in the military, everything's do it now and get it done. And,
right.
Especially in that lower level enlisted, you're not, set with tasks to, long-term tasks. You're set with the now, here and now. So, and then especially, the fear part, a lot of us, we try to not be afraid and try to, we try to, not show those fears. And I think, joining the military is not necessarily difficult. You can just sign up and go.
Right. And
so coming out, trying to find, do resumes and do the interviews and all that, it's a lot of work, and it can be fearful. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, but it's not a weakness to state our fears. That's the thing. It's been, I think, pounded in a lot of people's heads that it's weakness to say you have fears or have struggles, and it's not. So we really need to change that mindset and how we think of that. And I think that culture shift is coming, and I think it's starting more and more, which is great. But yeah, just it's a strength to be able to realize, like, I'm scared of that, or that's my fear, or that's my weakness, and be able to really turn it on its head and then start having it benefit you.
Yeah. And I was on another podcast as a guest about fears, the truth we hide.
Okay.
It's a good one if anyone wants to check it out about fear, tackling your fears. So
awesome.
So where can people learn more about Pencil Leadership?
Yeah, they can head to the website. It's just pencilleadership.com, or they can check out my Instagram page, which is chris.anderson8. And that can check out all the content I put out as well there.
Good job. All right. Any closing remarks for the listeners?
I guess just going out, just, hey, believe in yourself. Don't believe all the hate and all the negativity out there. You have self-worth. You have a purpose, and you have the ability to leave a positive mark wherever you are. So don't give up. Keep going and keep building that positive circle around you.
All right. Well, thanks, Chris. Thank you for coming on the show today. And we look forward to getting this message out and hopefully building some positivity and leadership.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jason, so much.
I want to thank you, Chris, for coming on the show today. Check out his website, pencilleadership.com. He's got his Facebook and Instagram on there. And also check out our website, leadershiploading.com. And thank you for tuning in to Leadership Loading Podcast. Now, go out and dream and do and give.